Hi, and welcome back to Zenful Notes. If you're new, Zenful Note is a community with resources focused on self-help and introspection, designed to enhance the most important relationship that you'll ever have, the one with yourself. Don't forget to download the Zenful Note app for more resources, meditations, exercises, and tools for your journey within. You can track your triggers, glimmers, emotions. You can play shadow work card games and do exercises curated by therapists. Give it a download in the App Store today. And if we haven't met before, I'm Kayla. I'm the creator of Zenful Note and the Shadow Work Journal. I am consciously exploring our world and our humanity. So if you want to join me on that exploration, give Zenful Note a follow and subscribe. My personal goal in this lifetime is to offer you an outlet for your soul to expand and grow and overflow with love and meaning. And there's so many ways that we can achieve that state of aliveness. So I'm gonna do everything I can to share that opportunity with you. And my intention for this video is clear. By the time that we reach the end of the video, I want each of you to understand not only what shadow work exercises are, but also be ready to practice them. Just envision this as a strategic game that you play with yourself, challenging your conscious mind at its peak, transforming moments where you feel out of control into opportunities. The goal with these exercises is to achieve a state of inner equilibrium and balance and emotional resilience. In the next few minutes, we're gonna dive into a strategy of doing this kind of self-challenge through shadow work exercises. These are not as simple as meditations. They are powerful, they're interactive, and they're methods for real change and transformation. At this point in the video, I want you to ask yourself if there is a part of you that you just don't understand, or if there's a part of you that you feel challenged to face. Is there a part of you that you feel ashamed of, that you're hiding? Shame is an intense emotion that arises when you believe that there's something fundamentally wrong with who you are. And part of shadow work is accepting who you are and overcoming shame. I want you to also think of any times where you acted outside of the norm for yourself. If you acted out in a way that was unexpected, a situation that unleashed your reactive side, sometimes takes control of you, leaving you wondering why you acted out in that way later. If any of this sounds familiar, you are not alone. And shadow work exercises specifically can help you work through those moments. Shadow work is a process of exploring the unconscious parts of our personalities that we often deny or repress or ignore. These could be traits, past experiences, or emotions that we pushed away. Shadow work helps us acknowledge and integrate these aspects into ourselves so that we can lead more balanced, fulfilling lives. However, it's equally about embracing our joys and our passions and our desires that we've been hesitant to pursue. So by engaging with your shadow self, you confront your inner fears, your doubts, your worries, your suppressed emotions. And you also open the door to hidden dreams and aspirations. And if you want to specifically explore your joys and your passions through shadow work, check out our other video on that topic. But for now, let's talk about the exercises. Shadow work exercises are practical, hands-on tools designed to help you engage with your shadow self, to explore both its challenges and its gifts. In my book, The Shadow Work Journal, there are a series of these hands-on practical exercises to cater to that very purpose. You can do inner child affirmations that help you nurture and heal your inner child's wounds. There's also mirror gazing exercises, EFT tapping exercises. It's a powerful tool to release emotional blockages and narratives that we tell ourselves. There's also fun hands-on journaling formats like fill in the blank exercises, which is basically Mad Libs for personal growth. It's a playful but profound way to uncover hidden aspects of your psyche through free association, where you write down your thoughts as they come to mind without filtering or overanalyzing them. And there's also shadow work visualization meditation exercises, where through guided imagery and imagination, you can confront and face your shadow self and have a dialogue with these different facets of your shadow self. And that's another thing about shadow work exercises. Approach it with curiosity, approach it with a non-judgmental attitude. Let's start with the first exercise that I mentioned, which is mirror gazing. Mirror gazing is one of the most popular and talked about exercises in the shadow work journal. For some reason, when you sit down in front of the mirror and stare at yourself, the thoughts in your head become louder and clearer and more direct. The critical voices are heard. It is a space where you can literally confront yourself in a compassionate way. I personally discovered the power of this practice a few years ago when I would come home depleted and frustrated and confused, and what helped me find solace and process those emotions was to sit in front of the mirror, hugging my knees to my chest and just looking deeply, gazing into my own eyes and conversing with myself, asking me questions, asking me, why do I feel this way? Answering with what comes up. And what I found was an unexpected sense of clarity and comfort. It was as if the mirror not only reflected my physical form, but it was also reflecting my existence that I wasn't acknowledging fully before. It was reflecting my child self. I would look into my eyes and think of the child me and really feel like that's who I was talking to. So when we engage in mirror gazing, you're not only looking at your physical self, you are confronting your inner self, your fears, your desires, your unacknowledged emotions. You are acknowledging them. You can find the mirror gazing exercise in the Zenful Note app. You can also find it in the shadow work journal. And for a brief explanation of mirror gazing step by step here, you'll first want to find a mirror that you can sit down in front of in a comfortable setting. You'll take a seat and get close up to the mirror where you can really gaze into your eyes. At that point, you spend 5 to 10 minutes just gazing into your eyes, locking in, trying not to look away. And at that point, if you feel comfortable, start to talk to yourself, your shadow self, your child self, and see what comes up. At this point, I would just bring awareness into what thoughts you're having and kind of spitball out loud and question yourself based on these thoughts that you're having. Try to find the root cause for any, critical thoughts that come up. And when you're done, you want to close this out by telling yourself that you are safe and you are loved. Mirror gazing is such an intimate way to face yourself, your insecurities, your fears. Building emotional intimacy with yourself through shadow work is key. During your time mirror gazing, you might see aspects of yourself that repulse you, but in those specific moments, that's where you can find the strength and the wisdom to respond to those thoughts in a kind and loving way. And once you start to put that into practice in mirror gazing, you will start to put that habit into practice in the real world. Treat yourself. This is a great way to start treating yourself as a friend, to talk it out, to flesh it out, and to reframe those negative beliefs. On to the next transformative exercise. This exercise involves a deeper meditative practice. It involves using your imagination. It's shadow work visualization meditations. And if you'd like to really experience this in your own time, check out the shadow work visualization meditation that we have on our YouTube channel. There's the one where you can meet your shadow self, and then there's another one where you can integrate your shadow self. So they go hand in hand. I recommend doing the first one and then the second one. But to summarize how the visualization meditation will go, you will begin the exercise by finding a space where you can sit down or lay back comfortably on a chair, on a bed, take a few deep calming breaths, center yourself, and then you start to pay attention to your mind's eye. You start to visualize yourself in a serene environment. It could be a forest, a beach, a mountain range, a place that feels safe and peaceful for you. And then you'll wander through this landscape ahead of you. You'll notice a figure, your shadow self, a representation of your shadow self. And here you'll approach this shadow self with curiosity and openness. You'll observe your shadow self. You'll observe its features, whether it's spiky or big or small. You'll just bring awareness to its presence and what it looks like symbolically to you and just how it makes you feel. This part of you that's often hidden, a part of you that holds deep insights about your inner world that you've repressed. And at the stage where you're face to face with your shadow, you'll start to engage in a dialogue. You'll ask it questions like, what do you want me to understand? Or why have you been feeling ignored or repressed? You'll allow your shadow self to speak and express its concerns. So this is really about listening and tuning into your shadow self. It's about understanding and empathizing with these parts of yourself that you've been overlooking. This interaction, this meditation is incredibly revealing. It sheds light onto your deepest fears, your unacknowledged desires, and your hidden strengths. The next shadow work exercise that we'll be talking about is shadow work journaling. With this, you'll maintain a dedicated journal. I recommend using a guided format. It makes things a lot easier to follow, a lot easier to navigate. Grab a shadow work journal. You can find it anywhere books are sold. Go to your local Walmart, Target, Barnes & Nobles, or head over to Amazon, TikTok Shop. But you can also use the Zenful Note app if you like to keep things digital. The journaling component of the shadow work journal is a compilation of curated, deep prompts based on different themes like inner child, inner teen, sadness, fears, jealousy,